Welcome back, everybody. What? So we just barely defeated Staniv. It's time for us to go to the final floor.
Of course.
And we are being revisited by Gorky.
Splendid! Your level and skills have improved.
Dang right they have.
Oh, and here's Speedy.
Oh, you might not be as much of a child as we thought you were. Still a child, though. Heh.
And here's Chekhov. Of course, if we lost to her. What does that mean? What you trying to say? Huh? Huh? You have defeated 4 of our best, but now you will have to face him. Him? Who's him? Happy Thursday, everybody, by the way, and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII as we finish things up in Wutai. We only have one more in the pagoda to deal with, and we're on our way to face him right now. So up the stairs we go. Who could it possibly be? Why, it's guy we don't know, except I know who he is.
Dad?
I'm glad you made it this far, Yuffie.
Why are you?
I'll answer you by having you try your skills against me. Hold nothing back. Come as if you're trying to kill me. If you don't, then I'll have to kill you.
Hey, wait a minute.
What are you doing? Omni change!
See, part of me wanted to actually change that to
Detective Pikachu change!
But, you know, I'll be considerate this one time. So, I'll be perfectly honest here. This fight kicked my butt because I actually didn't really plan for the fact that I might actually get nerfed in some ways and came in unprepared. You guys won't see it until later, but yeah, Godo actually kind of kicks my butt, and so I'm gonna point this out. He is way easier if you're prepared. I wasn't. I forgot about a couple of key things in his moveset that trounced me. So he will heal himself. He does have an ability called Beast Sword. He also can occasionally do some status ailments. That's not fun. And finally, he also does have an enemy skill that you can acquire here. So a lot of people haven't seen me utilize the enemy skill materia. I probably will later on in the game. Just 'cause I don't need every spell. I just need a few. And I just haven't gotten them yet. But if you don't have the enemy skill Trine, which you could technically have gotten from MartAnimE, you can get it from him. So at that point, if you haven't gotten it by then, you can try and coax Trine out of him. Oh no, and this is the thing that killed me. I was not prepared for Mini. I thought I had some cures for that in my item list. I did not. So I was not prepared, and therefore this fight is probably going to last a little bit longer than usual. So in the meantime, happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. For me, it's been great. I'm officially on vacation, even though I'm still working on other stuff on the side. I can get that stuff done, be able to get that to you, which is awesome for me. So here's Trine. If you are able to actually coax it out of him, then you would learn Trine from him at this point. Thankfully, though, I do have a limit break to use. And it did nothing because 1. Yeah, I didn't mean to get you guys' hopes up. But yeah, I've been able to get a lot of stuff done, and thank you guys so much for letting me be able to take this vacation. I very much needed it. I've been able to get stuff done as well as be able to spend some time with family, and that's been awesome. As well as be able to iron out the final setup for the new setup for Drak and Shadow, as well as for recordings with me and Andrea. So that's been great to have that extra amount of time. But aside from that, I don't really have a whole lot of stuff going on in life, so that's usually things that I would bring up. Unfortunately, it's pretty uneventful. Just because we're getting our Christmas shopping done, and I'm getting setup stuff done and cleaning out the office, upgrading PC parts, upgrading mics, all that fun stuff that some people are actually very fascinated in hearing, others not so much. Now, a couple of people have already been asking, like, will you be able to do a video for your old setup just so that in case we lose it? I've talked to Alex about it. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do one looking at the new setup, and we'll show you guys, like, what we did for the old setup, so you guys can kind of get a feel for what we did. But I just, that was extra stuff to record, and I've got other things on my mind. Ah, crap, he healed. I hate this guy. Hate him. Owie. Okay, cure 2. Let's get our health back up. I'll admit, I halfway played this fight when I recorded it and said, well, I have no problem doing this fight again. Or going all the way up through the pagoda again, but as I go along, we will try and weasel out a victory. It will happen. Okay, so here's round 2 with Odin. And usually this would be the point where I also bring up any other games that I've been playing, and actually I've been going into overdrive on getting all the reviews done before the end of January so that I can do the top 10 games of 2017 and maybe even a top 5 or top 10 worst games of 2017, because now I'm starting to be reminded of a lot of the crap that came out this year. I will probably be able to inch out 10 games. But you guys can look forward to that soon, as well as some changes to the review format. I know a lot of people love it when I do the raw game footage, so we're going to try and experiment for a few of them and do a vlog, but with game footage instead of the camera. Kind of something like... a best example that I can give is like something like Sid Alpha would do, or I think Pro Jared's done that a lot. We'll see if that works out, and if you guys don't like it, then we can go back to the original format. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. But there are a lot of games that need to be done for 2017. I was that far back. And in turn, I said it this year, I'm probably going to keep to it next year. I am going to keep the list rather short. Just to make things a little easier. Yay! We won against Godo! Don't make that harder on yourself, guys. Don't. Make sure you have everything you need. And we also got Yuffie's Final Limit, All Creation. Old. Good. Not bad.
You've also improved.
It's so great to know you guys had a good time. Okay.
It is time I gave this to you, Yuffie.
Okay.
This is Leviathan materia. Take it.
Received Leviathan materia.
But Lord Godo, the Leviathan materia should only be given to the person who conquers and takes over this pagoda. That is our custom.
Custom, custom, custom. I'm so sick of hearing that. So stupid.
Okay. Seriously, let us know how you feel, Yuffie.
Silence, Miss Yuffie.
Then what about all the rest of you? You have all that power. Are you satisfied being cooped up in this tower?
Good point.
Yuffie.
You too, Dad, just because you lost the war.
and turning Wutai into a place like this. Tourist resort? What do you want to say? Yeah, seriously, let us know how you feel. You turned Wutai into a cheesy resort town peddling to tourists. How dare you? Dachau statue and Leviathan are ashamed. Okay. That's how you feel.
She is a kid.
What'd you say? That you're a kid.
Yuffie, forgive me. It is my fault. What are you saying, Lord Godo? Losing the war, turning Wutai into this. It was my fault.
Lord Godo.
Silence! Yuffie, I am the same now as I was before when I wanted the war.
Jeez.
But after I lost the war, I began to think. I was up here, I had nothing else to do. Is strength only for defeating the enemy? Or just something to show off to others? Might begets might. That's the same way as the Shinra.
Put her in her place.
Good. Keep doing that. I knew you were looking for materia for the good of Wutai. But the reason I hide my strength now is also for the good of Wutai. And now I realize both are necessary. Strength without determination means nothing, and determination without strength is equally meaningless.
Lord Godo.
You there, please take a Yuffie with you. I perceive that you all have both determination and strength.
Do we have to? Really? You may come if you want to. Yeah, that's my thought. I guess. Alright, I don't mind.
Go, Yuffie! For the sake of strengthening a Wutai!
Dad.
I'll take care of the 5 sacred gods until you return. Go, and come back alive.
Of course. Yay, we can all leave. We have the Leviathan materia. Was it worth it? Probably not.
Yuffie, wait a minute. The materia they all have. After their battle is over, you think they'll still want it?
Dad.
Go, survive till the end, and return with the materia.
You bet.
I don't care. As soon as I beat the game, you can have whatever you want. And now he just kind of sits there in the pagoda again. So that's Yuffie's dad, everybody. But hey, we walked away with some Leviathan materia as well as Yuffie's final limit. So again, you can do this whenever you want in the story, but this is technically where it's supposed to be. Because when you get the tiny Bronco, it lands you really close to Wutai, almost prompting you to get off at the next beach and check things out. But you don't have to. I've done this game and gone all the way to Disc 3 and never done Wutai. So at that point, I went back and did it just so that I could get the Leviathan materia. But you can do it however you want. And this is strictly bonus content as far as I'm concerned. You don't actually have to do it unless you want to get everything in the game. But it does have the flavor of like a DLC story. It takes a bonus character that maybe you didn't have a whole lot of love for or knew a whole lot about, and gives you a backstory. Gives you a reason to kind of care about Yuffie. And for some, that worked. Not so much for me, but I can understand why people do like Yuffie as a character because of this arc. And also the arc she gets later in Crisis Core, where you get to see a younger Yuffie and see that she was just as ambitious then as she is now. Now, around this time was actually when I did do a post-Wutai grinding session, just to make sure that I was ready to go for the next major event in the game. Thankfully, it wasn't too far off, but yeah, we're going to see the transition in a second. Oh, look at that. I'm already at the tiny Bronco, so you guys don't have to worry about that. I took that out for you. But now that we've done that, remember, Sid gave us a little bit of a hint as to where to go next in the story. Again, you don't have to do Wutai, but this is plot crucial. We need to start looking for what's called a Temple of the Ancients. We don't really have any more clues than that, but since I know where we're going, this is basically where you're supposed to start getting the clues for it. You'll notice this house often off on the very edge kind of the continent. Well, this is where your hint is. You don't have to visit here, but this is where you get it.
Oh, another customer. You sure picked an out-of-the-way place, but... Well, I am the best weaponsmith in the world, because you can see all the weapons. But if it's the Keystone you're looking for, you're too late. I don't have it.
Keystone? Keystone. Yeah, exactly.
What? You didn't come here for that?
We didn't know what that was.
The Keystone is the key that unlocks the gate to a very old temple somewhere.
Could it be the Temple of the Ancients?
You're not going to believe your ears. But I heard it was the Temple of the Ancients.
Ah, there you go! 2 + 2 makes 4.
Temple of the Ancients.
That sounds like a place we need to go.
Exactly. Don't take it seriously, though. It's just a legend.
It's like that Atlantis place, man. That didn't exist, right? Except for in a sci-fi TV show. Now, the other cool part that you can do here, but it's really hard to make it work, is that box upstairs. You can actually get some additional items, but you have to have him distracted. But first, let's do some learning.
Oh, the Keystone? I sold it already. Yeah, well, to tell the truth, I didn't really want to sell it, but... That guy had a way about him that made you feel like it may not be a good idea not to sell it to him.
Okay, so Rufus? Who'd you sell it to?
The manager of the Gold Saucer. I think his name was Dio. Said he was going to put it in his museum, then he took off out of here.
Ah, so it's Dio. Well, we have a good relationship with Dio. We're just messing around. Oh, yeah, and if you... So where's the temple?
Ah, come on, it's only a legend, but if it were true, that sure would be something, huh?
Yes, it would.
Now that you mention it, I have heard of something called ultimate destruction magic.
Oh, really?
It was supposed to be hidden somewhere in the Temple of the Ancients.
Huh?
Ultimate destruction magic.
That sounds deadly.
Come on, I told you not to take it seriously, man.
But what if I want to take it seriously? Seriously, man. What's the problem there? So you can technically rest on his bed. Don't really need to. And then finally, let's change the subject.
All the weapons you see here I made myself, but lately I haven't been able to get materials.
Oh, poor guy. So basically, if you play this right, you can actually get, I think it's either Yuffie or Eris's final weapon or final limit break here. It's very difficult to do, and it does actually take in-game math to be able to do it. I believe you actually have to have your encounter rate at, I think it's a double digit. And I want to say, like, they have to match, too. I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but like they have to match two, and it has to be solely double digits, as if you were cruising through this game. And then you can rig it so that like when he's opening something else up, you can open it with it and get Great. Is it Great Gospel? Yeah, I think it's Great Gospel, her final ability. We're not going to worry too much about that, though, because we are already way past that point. And there's really no, at least to my knowledge, no way to track that unless maybe you're on the PC version and then you can mod it. But on the on the PlayStation version, you can't. So it's very difficult to do. In fact, I'll admit, I may have gotten Great Gospel way back when. I don't remember if I did. But I have seen it because I did eventually Game Shark it and wanted to see it. Just to see what it actually could do. And you guys got to see a quick magic cut there. That was just that was basically me trying to do some attempts to see if I can maybe get it. And then I was unsuccessful, unfortunately. But we now know where to go because Dio has the Keystone. And we have a fairly good rapport with Dio, or at least I'd like to think we do. I mean, after all, we took care of his, internal murderer problem. And we're good customers of the Gold Saucer, I'd like to say. So we're going to go talk to Dio and see if he'd be willing to part with the Keystone. I mean, what's the harm? It's not like he's going to arrest us again, right? I mean, we're Chocobo Racing Masters. What good would that do? Really does make you think, doesn't it? And of course, getting attacked all up and down. Jiminy Christmas. Random encounter rates. Bah. So frustrating to deal with. So in we go to North Corel. Now, the sad reality is, somebody actually did ask way back when, like, if you solve the whole Dine murder, does your rapport, or at least Barrett's rapport, improve in North Corel? Not until later. I don't even think the aftermath of Dine really plays into it. It's events that you'll be handling later on that will kind of redeem Barrett to the North Corel people, and we'll show that, so don't worry too much about it. I'll intentionally rig it so that Barrett's in the party when we do it. So you can see him get a little bit of a... Oh, it's a little bit of indication. All right, into the Gold Saucer we go. Now, we do technically have enough money to get a family pass. I'm going to hold off on it for now. We'll need it later. So we will eventually get it, but she's giving us information that we've already seen before. Just consider GP as the money of Gold Saucer. We don't care. We're just here to visit Dio. So let's go ahead and step on into Gold Saucer. And we all remember where Dio's personal museum is, don't we? Why, it's at his favorite square. Where could that possibly be? Why, it's the Battle Square, of course. That's where the Battle Arena is. It's his favorite area to go. Just think, a couple of parts ago, this place was laden with corpses. Well, they cleaned that up real quick. Thankfully, though, the floor looks as good as ever. Kinda. Sorta. So here's the museum. I'm only guessing that that's a picture of Dio. It's the Keystone. Off in the back, I mean. And here's Dio, speaking of. Ho, long time no see, my boy. You like that, huh? Yes, I do. Can you let me borrow this? Oh, sorry, but it's not for rent, boy. I'm rich, remember? Since you've been good to me in the past, I can let you have it on one condition. Okay. One condition? Yeah, what is it? Entertain me, boy! What do you want me to do, or not in the mood? What do you want me to do? Ooh, boy! It's not something that's really difficult. This is the battle arena, after all. Show me your fighting skills. Just you, my boy. I'm expecting a good fight. Are you now? Well, unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait until next week for it. So when we get back, we will enter the battle arena and earn the Keystone for the Temple of the Ancients.